Now, I don't know if you know what kind of scheme that is, but I'm making the symbol right here in front of me. It's a Ponzi scheme. It's a pyramid scheme. There is no other name for it, okay? And pyramid schemes and Ponzi schemes never end well. And if you have nobody working in our country, you got nothing to finance the Ponzi scheme with. You got to find a sucker to, to buy into the Ponzi scheme, to buy into the pyramid scheme, right? But nobody's working. Nobody's able to. So I beg you the question, is the cure worse than the curse? The curse being the virus, the cure being the total lockdown and shutdown. All right? Look, you have to face facts. This virus, the morbidity rate is nowhere near where they thought it was going to be. It went from tens of millions to millions to hundreds of thousands to now maybe under 100,000. That's for our country, okay? Not worldwide. So, who's making these models that everybody's panicking about? That's the first thing. Second thing, if you really want to panic about something, you should look at the models at what happens during a depression. You think it's going to just be 100,000 people dying? No. You have to talk about alcoholism. You have to talk about massive drug abuse. You have to talk about suicides and overdoses. People who are stressed out and depressed. Do you really think that depression doesn't kill people? Are you serious? You do know that depression is the leading cause into other morbidities, such as heart disease, okay, cardiovascular disease, cancer. You start wearing down your immune system because of stress, you are degrading your body's ability to fend these things off. You got cancer in you right now. Everybody knows that. It's just your body's able to fight it off. You start getting depressed, you start getting stressed out, guess what happens? Your immune system, your power meter goes way down, and then all these things attack you. Kind of reminds me of the Bart Simpson episode when he didn't want to go to school because of a test, and his white blood cells were fighting off a virus, and he said that he was getting orders from higher up to lay down and let the virus take over, and then the virus said, "Okay, let's make some pus." Look, that's a very disingenuous way to say there are serious consequences to economic recession and depression, far more than any modeler is coming up with now. Why is this not spoken about? It's a serious business. I know we need to protect our elderly. I know we need to protect those people who are vulnerable. If we're not able to do it now, what makes you think that we'll be able to do it in 6 months from now? Like I told you, look up what happened in the Andover nursing home here in New Jersey. Okay, utter disaster. You think that they weren't on complete lockdown? Tigers and big cats are getting it in the New York City Zoo. You don't think they're on lockdown? Okay, what do you think, they're going out at night and playing cards with the city slicker rats and the gutterbird pigeons? No, those animals are locked up in a cage. They can't go anywhere and give it to anyone. They are there and they are done. Okay, that's where the virus finds its terminus. Can't go any further than that. What I'm trying to tell you is, no, I'm not like Sweden. I'm not cold-hearted. I do believe we should fight the tidal wave as long as we can, okay, till we hopefully have a chance to find some therapeutics or some kind of cure or some type of better health methods, okay? That's what we need to do. But this whole thing was like Governor Cuomo from New York State said. Governor Cuomo said, the only thing that this is about is to what? Not overwhelm the health system. There's nothing more. Thankfully, there's no doubt about it, the health system was stressed, but it wasn't overwhelmed. Did you know that there are about 800 to 900,000 people who are hospitalized per year because of the flu? Did you know that? No, you don't know that. Our hospital system is able to handle that. They were also able to handle this. It was big, it was scary. We weathered the first wave, okay? But from now on, you have to start thinking of the future. Are we headed to another Great Depression? Are we headed to the rise of radicalism. Are we headed to, okay, a situation where people will start perishing from stress, depression, suicide, overdose? I have two parents who were raised during the Great Depression, and I can tell you right now, it leaves a mark on you that will last the rest of your life. Is that what we're doing to our kids? Is that what we're doing to our grandkids? Look, facts are facts. This virus really doesn't affect people under 20 or 30 years old any more than the flu does. As a matter of fact, it might not even do that. It really only targets one subset of people, and those are the people with comorbidities and the elderly. Like I said, it really seems like a synthesized virus specifically aimed at these specific vulnerable groups, okay? Sweden's all too happy to have it run through their system, cleans out, gives them a clean slate to start over with, and focus all of their resources on their productive workers, while at the same time getting rid of all the people who are resource users and not resource producers. Okay, so we know that. We're not like that. We're a little bit different. We have some values, some ethics, some morals, and that's a discussion for a different day. But the time has come to start weighing what the long-term consequences of this virus are. And if you don't have people working, if you don't have people comfortable, if you don't have people producing, yes, you're going to wind up like the Weimar Republic did in what? The 1920s. That led to the rise of Adolf Hitler, Franco, Mussolini in Europe, and then that led to World War II. So look, I'm just trying to say, let's speak the truth objectively. This happened before. It's not a newbie. We need to learn our lessons from the past, and we need to maybe be a little bit courageous, maybe be a little bit brave, maybe be a little bit preemptive, and sort of ride this out with some courage, with some American ingenuity, with some American exceptionalism, with some American bravery. You know, our forefathers, George Washington and et cetera, so on and so forth, they didn't have a clean go of it, all right? They had to brave some serious situations to achieve the freedom that they had. You want to give up your freedom, you sit at home and do nothing. And what you're going to do is you're going to fall into giving up your Bill of Rights. You're going to fall into giving up all of your freedoms. You're going to fall into living into fear. And I hate to say this, but people die. Death is part of life. Yes, we need to get a handle on it. Just like Cuomo said, this is all about not overwhelming the healthcare system. That didn't happen, okay? Some places it came close, but for the majority of the country, it didn't happen. And now we need to progress from here. We're smart enough, we're intelligent enough, we can chew bubble gum and walk at the same time. We don't need to cower in fear in our little caves. Anyway, I hope that some of this made sense. I don't mean, again, to sound disingenuous. One death is one death too many. But if we're able to overlook it for the seasonal flu and for people who are driving every day on the roads, you know, maybe we need to have a little bit more sensibility, and we need to look into these models that bred so much fear into our hearts and minds and ask, well, how did they get this so wrong? Okay, I understand you want to err on the side of caution, but this is above and beyond that. This is above and beyond that. We need to have realistic numbers. We need to have realistic statistics. We need to have realistic medical knowledge about the situation. Okay? I hope there's some promising therapeutics in the pike. I think there's a drug called remdesivir, say that 5 times fast, coming out. The hydroxychloroquine issue, I don't know why that was ever an issue. You know, you have a right to die in my state, but you don't have the right to try. Really? That's a discussion for a different day. Maybe I'll think about that, let that percolate. But I really hope that these few YouTube postings gave you something to think about and maybe have a little bit of confidence and a little bit of hope. Because up until now, it's all been panic, fear, and dread. And I just don't think that human beings were meant to live with that. Yes, have a sensibility of caution, but at the same time, live your lives, okay? Don't let fear run your lives. Don't let the cable news 24/7 cycle make it a miserable day for you. Think of something positive. Accentuate the positive, but respect the negative. Okay, that's all I'm asking you to do. Accentuate the positive, but respect the negative, and that is speaking the truth objectively. Anyway, take care, God bless, and I hope you stay safe and sound. Bye-bye.